So coming into Avengers Infinity War, from what we understand, Ant-Man and the Wasp are not necessarily going to have a huge part, if any part at all. Maybe a mention here or there, or maybe a call from Steve or something where they can't show up to help out, but that seems to be rather it. And with Ant-Man and the Wasp hitting theaters in July, audiences are obviously not going to have to wait a long time to see these characters again, but obviously I think we're going to all be wondering where they've been. Well, as it was recently kind of talked about by everybody involved in the film, specifically Joe Russo, one of the directors of Infinity War, he talks about how Civil War had a big impact on everything that's followed it, and how in that movie, characters who were perceived on the quote-unquote wrong side, such as Ant-Man / Giant Man, they might not necessarily be willing to move forward with certain things due to where they are in their life right now. Now, obviously, he's trying to tiptoe around kind of giving us major spoilers, right? Because it makes sense. You don't want to spoil what Ant-Man and the Wasp is, even though we kind of understand which direction it's going in. But he says that it's the decisions that they made in that kind of keep them from being in this movie and directly involved with everything. But then they go on and talk about how they think they found a way to solve it and how they have a clever way of dealing with this issue. So essentially, they kind of just move on naturally with the universe with what they've set up. So essentially they went into Infinity War and looking at Ant-Man and the Wasp and going, okay, well, why isn't that movie Infinity War Part 2? And what's the difference? And how does everything kind of live around Infinity War and however that ends and however it moves forward? And while they don't want to spoil any of those elements, they definitely say that, yeah, you know, you're going to understand why these characters aren't in the movie when we see the movie. But not only that, when the characters' explanations are finally revealed in their own solo film, everything's going to kind of get brought back around to give you that full picture of everything, which honestly, that kind of, I guess, takes care of some of my worries, because, you know, I really liked Ant-Man. Like, I really loved that movie, and I was hoping that these two characters would be pretty big in Infinity War, and they don't seem to be, but they seem to have a somewhat bigger role, I guess, in Avengers 4, so hopefully they can bring it all around and use it properly, because I want to see these characters mingle with the Avengers and Guardians and everybody else.